Hi, in this video I'll discuss about the ischiorectal fossa. So pelvic outlet, the posterior part of the pelvic outlet is called as the anal triangle. Okay. So what is the boundaries of the anal triangle? It is bounded laterally by the sacrotuberous ligament. The sacrotuberous ligament, anteriorly by the imaginary line, and the apex is formed by the tip of the coccyx. On either side by the sacrotuberous ligament. Sacrotuberous ligament, anteriorly by the imaginary line, and the apex is formed by the tip of the coccyx. Now the structures presented in the anal triangle of the pelvic outlet are, see, these are the structures. So anteriorly, so this is anterior now, so anteriorly you have the urogenital triangle. Anteriorly you have the perineal body. The perineal body is exactly in the center of the imaginary line joining the two ischial tuberosity. So what is this perineal body? Is nothing but the insertion of the 20 muscles present in the perineum. It is a node-like structure. Then posterior to the perineal body is the anal opening, which is surrounded by the sphincteric muscle. Okay, this external anal sphincteric muscle. Then behind that, still posteriorly, you have this anococcygeal raphe, which is connected to the tip of the coccyx. So from the anus to the tip of the coccyx, you have the anococcygeal raphe. So these are the structures presented in the pelvic outlet along the anal triangle. Now, what are the contents of the perineal region deeper to the anal triangle? So just see this. This is the structure deeper to the anal triangle in the perineal region. Okay, in the perineal region. So you can see the anal opening. I'll just put a paper here to show the anal opening. So anal opening is going to lead into the anal canal. So this is the anal canal in the center, which is present in the perineal region of the anal triangle. On either side of the anal canal, you have the position of the ischiorectal fossa. So the ischiorectal fossa is a fossa which is wedge-shaped fossa. It is presented on either side of the anal canal in the perineal region deeper to the anal triangle. Now see, the anal canal and the ischiorectal fossa on either side is related anteriorly to the urogenital triangle. So what is the deeper structure of the urogenital triangle? It is the urogenital diaphragm. So the urogenital diaphragm will be related immediately to the anal canal and the ischiorectal fossa on either side. See, the ischiorectal fossa on either side and the anal canal is related anteriorly to the superior fascia of the urogenital diaphragm. Beneath it, you have the muscle, that is the transverse perineum profundus muscle and the transverse perineum superficialis muscle, separated by the perineal membrane. So these are the structures related anterior to the ischiorectal fossa and the anal canal. Considering this as the pelvic diaphragm, the muscles forming the pelvic diaphragm is the levator ani muscle in the coccygeus. So this is the levator ani muscle which is covered externally by the anal fascia. So this is the external part of the pelvic diaphragm. The pelvic diaphragm formed by the levator ani muscle, which is covered externally by the anal fascia. Can you see the structure which is present laterally? So here you have the ischiorectal fossa. What is the lateralmost part? Can you see the obturator foramen? So what is the muscle covering the obturator foramen? It is nothing but the obturator internus muscle. This obturator internus muscle is covered internally by the obturator fascia. So this is the obturator fascia and the obturator muscle. Now coming to the boundaries of the ischiorectal fossa. So now you will be able to easily understand the boundaries of the ischiorectal fossa, which is a wedge-shaped structure, which is a wedge-shaped space bounded medially by the levator ani muscle covered by the anal fascia, laterally by the obturator internus muscle covered by the obturator fascia, and anteriorly. So this is anterior relation. So anteriorly, now you can understand the anterior relation. It is formed by the urogenital diaphragm. Externally you have the muscles transverse perineae profundus and transverse perineae superficialis. So anteriorly it is the urogenital diaphragm structures. Okay. Now what is the posterior relation? So this is the posterior part, no? So posteriorly it is related to the sacrotuberous ligament. Okay, sacrotuberous ligament. Since it is a wedge-shaped structure, so what is the apex formed by? The apex of the ischiorectal fossa is formed by the fusion of the obturator fascia and the anal fascia. So the obturator fascia and the anal fascia. Again, the boundaries of the ischiorectal fossa is medially by the levator ani muscle covered by the anal fascia, laterally by the obturator internus muscle covered by the obturator fascia, anteriorly by the urogenital diaphragm structures, muscles like transverse perineae profundus and superficialis muscle, posteriorly by the sacrotuberous ligament. The apex is formed by the fusion of the anal fascia and the obturator fascia. Coming to the measurement of this wedge-shaped structure, so the vertical measurement of this ischiorectal fossa is around 5 cm from the apex to the base. Antero-posteriorly, antero-posterior or posterior-anteriorly, it is again 5 cm, and transversely it is around 2.5 cm. Now, before going into the contents of the ischiorectal fossa, I just want to tell you about the pudendal canal or the Alcock's canal and the position of that canal. See, this is the, what is this? This is the greater sciatic notch. So this is the greater sciatic notch, and this is the lesser sciatic notch. Okay, so this is lesser sciatic notch. So this pudendal canal is a facial tunnel. It is a facial tunnel or a facial canal. The other name for it is the Alcock's canal, which is extending from the lesser sciatic foramen to the posterior limit of the urogenital triangle. Okay, so this is a urogenital triangle. The posterior limit is this. So this is it is a pudendal canal or Alcock's canal is a facial tunnel. It is a facial tunnel which is presented here deeper on the posterior aspect of the inner surface of the ischial tuberosity, extending from the lesser sciatic foramen to the posterior limit of the urogenital diaphragm. Okay, so this is the canal is presented here. So the ischiorectal fossa, so here it is a canal. So the ischiorectal fossa is related laterally to the pudendal canal. So now this is a picture of the ischiorectal fossa which is given in your book. So now I think you will be able to understand this picture. This is a coronal section of the ischiorectal fossa. Okay. So now in the center you have the anal canal. Okay. On either side of the anal canal you have the ischiorectal fossa. Now you will be able to understand this picture. So it is a wedge-shaped structure and it is fat-filled mostly. And what are the boundaries? So it is having medially bounded by the levator ani muscle, which is covered by the anal fascia, laterally by the obturator internus muscle, which is covered by the obturator fascia. Okay, so now this is the base. This base is formed by the skin. Okay, and anteriorly and posteriorly relations all I have told you already. See, this is the pudendal canal, which is related laterally to the ischiorectal fossa. So what are the contents of this pudendal canal? The pudendal canal contains the pin structure. Okay, pudendal nerve, internal pudendal vessel, and nerve to the obturator foramen. Okay, so this pudendal nerve and its branches, posterior scrotal nerve, and the internal pudendal artery and its branches. It will be coming out and it will be forming the contents of the ischiorectal fossa. Now you will be able to understand the contents of the ischiorectal fossa, which will be nothing but the internal pudendal vessels coming out from the pudendal canal or the Alcock's canal, then posterior scrotal vessels, and also the fourth sacral nerve and its perineal branch will also be a content of the ischiorectal fossa. Okay, so these are the contents of the ischiorectal fossa and the boundaries of the ischiorectal fossa. Thank you.